Alright, and off we go. Let's go. And I changed. Yo, what up, Eric? How you doing? I changed the title to Lostbelt 5.2 to accurately reflect that. And we're gonna have to like. I'm doing pretty well. It's a little rainy here, but other than that, it was pretty good. Pretty good day today. I'm gonna window shop here, so we have what, Buzzette, Charlotte, Okita, Kama, Kindness, Yo, Hotshot, Ilya, Kiara, and Karin. And then, of course, Karin. Alright, here we go. Let's go into the 5.2. I just wanted to see what was in there. Oh yeah. Send out the guards. Send out the guards. Thou art the harvest that reaps the stars. Dang. But he can only do that for about a month, I think. Unless he gets extension from like the local authorities. And that's how that plays out. I think it'll burn out within a month. I don't think it'll last that long. Those are all 1 stars, huh? Am I doing this right? Palm bought to burst because Sato got buff on JV. Oh, dang! He did? Dang, he ain't gonna see that in 2 years. Yeah, we waiting that time. Bide that time. It took me a while before I could see the Bradamante buff. Okay, I'm gonna just feed some of these foes to some people. I think that's what I'll do. Let me actually give some of these XP cards away. I think what's going on here is like I have a lot of XP cards. I just have to like use it up on somebody. So I'll do that right now.
Yeah.
Alright, who needs XP cards? I gotta give someone some XP cards here because we gotta start the story. No, we gotta just level up maybe 1 or 2 of them. Let me see who's gonna get it. The lower star for Sonic Cube? Okay, that's true. Do you guys want Bargus or this other? Wait, hold on. Bargus or? Let me see. What's the other one? Or this one right here. This rider. Bargus or the rider? Definitely Bargus? Okay then. Let's go with Bargus then. Sorry, putting through. Yeah, exactly. That box can't even contain that thing, I'm telling you. Alright.
忙しくてトレーニングの時間も取れなかったの。失礼旦那様、ここからは本業にシフトの時間です。猫が宇宙に漂っているような顔ですが、私は森林守護騎士連盟 UDK の隊長ではありますが、ホテルブリスティのメイド長が本業です。旦那様がブリスティにご滞在のうちはこちらの姿でお世話させていただきます。構いませんね。
She's definitely a keeper.
服装の乱れはサービスの乱れ。出力が上がろうと破れることはありませんわ。もちろんスカートの話です。
Oh right, I think we freed him of space there. Now let's continue with the story. Section 4, Thou art the harvest reaps. Gazing up at the sky. Always reminds me of my beautiful, fragile daughter. My dear daughter, who was born solely to be loved. Hey, listen, I think I ran out of XP cards, so I stopped. So I had to go dig in the box if I do more of that. You always loved everything that grew on the land. You always had such a bright smile on your face. I always hoped that one day you would meet someone wonderful, fall in love, and have a dear child of your own who looked just like you. Hey, well, in time, she might get it soon. Then that child will one day have a child of their own, and so on and so on. Until one day the land would be covered with your descendants. That's what I used to dream about, and I truly believed it would happen. But now... why? Why? Why did you leave the land that day? Great orbital shrine, Olympia Dondona. Hanging perimeter gardens. The birds are chirping merrily again. They sing the praises of Olympus. They sing of how happy they are to be here amongst its glorious skies, bountiful harvests, and beautiful vistas. And yet, my heart sits ill at ease. Sounds like you got it rough too, hon. You're the queen, right? In my world's version of Greek mythology, I remember Zeus falling in love with a human queen at one point. But they say you fused with Zeus' first wife, Hera? Doesn't that feel like sharing a body with your mother-in-law? How can you stand it? And on top of that, you're even acting as his priestess. I guess Zeus must be really attached to you. By the way, just out of curiosity, how does this Lostbelt feel about women's rights? During the Olympia Machia, Lady Hera suffered a grave wound, and her original mechanical body was destroyed. But Zeus was reluctant to lose his beloved queen forever. By fusing her remnants with me, a heroic spirit from proper human history, he was able to prolong both of our lives. Such is the depth of his love for us. I see. But she didn't answer the question. What about those women's rights? Thank you for worrying about me, Pepe. Now, if you wouldn't mind, I was hoping to ask you about the Chaldeans. How could I say no to that? Especially after you've so kindly been putting me up in your lovely shrine. Oh, what's this? Are you two having a nice chat? Any friend of Custodia Wudim is a friend of Zeus. Please make yourself at home. Why, thank you. Don't mind if I do then. I must applaud your initiative, Queen Europa. Lady Demeter? I would never have thought to do something so dreadful as gathering information on Chaldea and proper human history. What's this all about? No, wait, let me guess. Is it because you feel responsible for letting them get away yesterday? Yes, that's right. I feel terrible about not being able to fulfill Lord Zeus' revelation. Oh, you poor thing. You really are quite the worrywart, aren't you? But you don't have to worry about things like this. Just let myself and the other gods take care of it. You may have assimilated with Lady Hera, but you're still only a demigod. Zeus would never want you pushing yourself beyond her limits. All you need to do is sit and smile by the flowers, like any young maiden your age. Have you met my daughter Persephone yet? I would just love to see you two become friends. Lady Demeter, I'm afraid Persephone is a servant, was it? Heroes who were inscribed in humanities upon their death, and now materialize as heroic spirits. What a truly awful procedure. I can scarcely think of anything more dreadful. Everyone knows humans should only be born from their mothers. Say, I have a wonderful idea, Europa. You should think of me as your mother-in-law now. It's quite alright, Europa. There's no need to be polite. I'm the goddess of the land. And the land has always been mother of all things. Mother of the land, huh? That sounds like Gaia. In the Greek mythology I know, she was the mother of the earth, the gods, and everything else under the sun. She was also married to Uranus, the first gods of the heavens. First there was chaos, then Gaia, the land, came forth and gave birth to everything. The land has always been a mother. That's how it's supposed to be. And the sea was also a mother, or at least it was supposed to be. The sea. I didn't sense any sort of femininity from the late god of the sea in Atlantis. Maybe that refers to the Oceanids, the daughters of the sea. Oh Pepe, human sage. That isn't what I mean. I suppose it might be difficult for you to understand. But all the same, I'm certain the sea was also once a mother. I still remember that like 2 streams ago, rooting for that boy Talos to give you the hand. That wasn't right. That wasn't right. He said, "Yeah, get him, Talos." I was like, "We got him back though." All right, let's go in here. More no battles. A magical energy signal's making its way towards the ship. It's kind of faint, but I recognize this pattern anywhere. It's a servant. Dang it, now that what do? We don't have anyone here who can fight right now. Calm down, Manua. Have you tried a more thorough scan yet? It's been New Year. What? Now you can't even remember the food theme anymore? But anyway, good idea. I'll run a thorough scan right now. Easy there, guys. Just keep it together. I already scanned this servant myself, and there's nothing to worry about. Leonardo. Technical advisor. What are you thinking? You're supposed to be in recovery. Hey, what's the big idea? You know I prefer to be called Da Vinci. Anyway, don't worry about me. My recovery's still coming along fine. Holmes was nice enough to set things up for me so I could connect my consciousness to the board's core from the recovery pod. That said, the most I can do right now is activate the systems that don't need the magical reactors to be rebooted. So you're not overexerting yourself then? Of course not. I'm still thinking making my health my first priority. Isn't that what your family homunculus used to do too? Yes it is. Ruthlessly so in fact. But never mind that now. What did the scan tell us? Alright, the magical energy signal. Well, like I said, there's nothing to worry about. Their spirit origin is super high quality, but I can also tell from their low magical energy levels that they're in pretty bad shape. So it looks like a really high-end heroic spirit, one with a spirit origin that's on par with the divine spirit, has drifted here, probably from Atlantis. Drifted? So what you're saying, they got sucked into the Great Pit's whirlpool, and there have been some sort of floating around this area ever since instead of falling straight down? They've probably got some kind of passive ability that lets them move around like this even when they're adrift. And then we need to make a calm, level-headed decision. So we have a powerful divine level spirit servant drifting about in a weakened state from Atlantis. Now what is it? Relax, old man. That was just our new message sound. Looks like we got a bunch of data from the Wandering Sea. They read me a video file. I'll put it on the main monitor. Firstly, I want to congratulate all of you on making it to Olympus. Alright, see you on. Now that you have made it this far, I wish you success in cutting down the tree of emptiness. I have been going over all the data you sent me, and it has proven extremely useful. Thanks to what you learned by going up against the machine gods Artemis and Poseidon. We now know we can expect that the other gods in Olympus are similarly powerful mechanical beings, with combat abilities beyond human kin. And above all, we have gained information from the ultimate weapon that Hephaestus designed and forged out of Achilles' divine construct armor. The longbow Orion used to shoot down Artemis. That piece of data turned out to be the final key. The final key? This is the key that will give humans the means to bring down the gods. The last hope we have fighting back against these literal Deus Ex Machina. Thou art the harvest that reaps the stars. Part 2. It's all lore from here. What if you could completely skip a boss fight based on the dialogue you chose? He's like, oh, now you messed up. You picked the wrong dialogue. Now square up. Oh goodness. That's loud. The skyscrapers are collapsing. Dang, these Olympian gods. Not even my defense can stand in face of their assault. They're about to break in through every one of our defense lines. God. Assemble my mass-produced mechanical soldiers. It's up to you to hold the last line of defense. Let them hear you roar, men. Even when it should vanish here today, the flag of freedom will still fly strong. Farewell, fellow Calians. The rest of it is up to you. I finished the first 2 summoning positions. I'm so close to finishing more, but we just don't have enough time. Dang, she got messed up, goodness. If we only had a few more minutes, I could have at least finished the 3rd one 4th. I'm sorry, lady, if nothing else, we should have at least made sure you could escape. Edison's group has been fighting admirably. They clearly learned much from the experiences and the singularities. But I'm afraid this is as far as we go. We are truly, utterly defeated. The gods' lone strike will surely demolish this entire sector before we can deal with them even a single blow. Maybe we threw caution to the wind too soon, or maybe we never had any chance of winning at all. Dang it. Mechanical Olympian gods, huh? They're the real deal, so they might even know something about Mahatma. I know, but remember, they are the enemy of all proper human history. They may well be ships that cross the sea of stars to come here, my wise and beautiful Helena. But they are absolutely not the stars you looked up to. Thank you, Mr. Tesla. You're very kind. It's the truth, lady. Hear me. This world does not belong to you. You were co-signed to the trash heap of proper human history long ago. You aren't protecting anything. You only suffocate humanity with your enduring tyranny. Humanity will never be your pets or plaything. That thing is like, you're talking a lot of crap for a person in blasting distance, and then blast. Alright, let's type out the Q. Oh, wait, before we do that, let's do this, this, and then this. Like that, there you go. Q is typed out. Is that you, Mesh? Good morning. Good, you're all already up. Hope you don't mind if I come in. Good morning, Paragon. Did you sleep well last night? Are you okay, Paragon? You look pale. I just had an awful nightmare. Mash. It's Paragon. As a matter of fact, I had a bad dream myself. I think it's probably because we heard that all the heroic spirits that came to Olympus for Atlantis were wiped out. I think so too. Right. Still, they did leave this hidden base for us. It should be more than functional enough for us or our purposes. And Musashi's here too to help too, so it hasn't been a complete loss. Now that we've settled in here, we should report back to Director Gordoff. Our comm situation still hasn't improved, but at least we might not have so much interference down here thanks to the difference in atmospheric magical energy levels. Well, is he trying to cheer us up? Yes, I'm sure he is. Come on, Paragon. Musashi and Holmes are waiting for you. Morning, Paragon. Did you sleep well last night? Or if you're hungry, there's breakfast to be had over here. I'll say this about Olympus. The food here is yummy. I've visited lots of different worlds back when I was alive, and as food goes, this place is easily in the top 5. Must mean civilization here has flourished to the point they can really focus on things like refining their cuisine. It's just too bad they apparently never got around to inventing udon. No udon in this century. You really do love udon, don't you, Musashi? So do I. Ah, fellow udon lover, right? You can just beat that texture. You can't just beat that texture. It's true, the way the noodles glide across your tongue while being delightfully chewy at all the same time always makes me end up eating more than I intended. Oh yeah, I know servants don't technically need to sleep or eat, but just because we can go without both doesn't mean we should, if you ask me. Getting good rest helps you feel centered and focused, and a good meal just makes you straight up happy. I mean, since we materialize with emotions and all, it'd be a waste to neglect them. I'm glad to see you're in good spirits, Musashi. You bet I am. I'm still me, no matter where I go or what I do. Sure, things might be kind of depressing lately, but in general, I like to smile my way through life. That's the kind of gal I was in life. It's who I am today. Oh, morning to you too, Fo. So now that we've had a chance to slow down and catch our breath, I think it's a good time to tell you what I've been up to since we last saw each other in Russia. First, just so we're on the same page, I was able to meet up with you guys in Russia because of my unique constitution. See, I was able to wander into neighboring worlds in life. I've always thought of it as Lady Canon's guidance, though recently I learned it's actually called drifting. So I think what happened was that I ended up drifting right before the world was wiped clean. I wonder if the drifting person that Gordoff and Da Vinci detected was actually her, and she's like in a weakened state. When I drifted back a moment later, there was nothing left but bleached white ground everywhere I looked. At the time, I thought I ended up on some blank slate parallel world somewhere else. But after wandering around for a while, I drifted right into the snowy fields of the Russian Lostbelt. You with me so far? I think so, but something doesn't quite add up. Right, back at Caldy, your drift was recorded as something similar in nature to a ray shift. So my understanding was that you could only drift to different time periods and parallel worlds. Yep, as a rule, my drift always puts me in a different world, never in the same one I drifted from. Before, if I wanted to drift back to the same world as all of you guys, I basically had to keep drifting between different worlds and hope I eventually get lucky. But when I drifted out of Russia, I found myself face to face with the same bleached white earth of 2020. I tried a few more drifts after that, and they all turned out the same way. While I didn't always end up in the same location, I did always end up in the same world and time period. A bit surprising at first, but I realized I basically gained a superpower, the ability to teleport across long distances. From there, I spent my days wandering around, fighting off weird creatures, and testing how much I could control my new ability. Then one day, watch yourself, woman. Colliding with another teleport is unheard of, even in Magecraft world. I ran into this guy who was kind of arrogant, but basically alright, and we ended up traveling together for a while. I wonder if that's the guy that kind of looked like Roman but wasn't Roman that saved him. He turned out to know a ton about all kinds of things, like he knew what kind of divine power my drift uses and what happened to you guys after Russia. I'm not sure there was anything he didn't know. Anyway, he pretty much caught me up on the whole situation. So I decided to sneak into the Atlantic Lostbelt ahead of you guys and wait for you. Oh, I even managed to drift into Olympus easy peasy. They never even knew I was here. Unfortunately, my drift only works on me, so I couldn't bring Rope Guy or any other heroic spirit along. They're probably gonna need more help besides me, just me. Should we spend more time looking for other servants? No need, circumstances being what they are. We can be assured that a grand servant will appear in the Atlantic Lostbelt. That servant will be a much more powerful ally than you could ever hope to be. Dang! That being said, yeah, they will need you as well. If you want to come along, I can take you as far as the Atlantic Lostbelt, but no further. The counter for surely is nothing if not meticulous, meandering, and mean-spirited. So basically your self-warping powers really came through. Yep, I always used to think of this tendency to drift as a problem, so I'm glad it turned out to be actually useful for once. So in exchange for no longer being able to race shift to different time periods in parallel worlds, you're now essentially able to freely teleport, at least to a certain extent. It's very impressive that you've been able to make your way into the Lostbelt without embarking on a zero cell. Yep, I'm not really sure how it works myself, but that all sounds right. But she said that guy knew what her power was and how it works. Why didn't she ask him? So in summary, your drift ability involved jumping into the rift between worlds, then emerging into another world. I think it's safe to assume that it still works that same way, since that will explain how you're able to get past the Lostbelt storm walls. The idea is that you're jumping into a higher dimension, then falling back down to a lower one. The only difference is that before you could fall down to any number of possible destinations, but now you're only falling to this world, which is why you always emerge somewhere else here. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Guess I can't really call it drifting anymore, can I? Folk. One last thing. Who is the rope guy you met? I'd like to know that too. Is he the road figure who heard rumors about in the other, who we've heard rumors about in the other Lostbelts? The one who claims to be from Chaldea? Oh, sorry, but I can't answer that. He made me promise not to. And still, I owe him for giving me food and shelter for a night, so I can't just go back on my word. I see. At least we know he helped you, Musashi. Right, he did, didn't he? He may not know who he is, but we do know he sent you here to help us. And if it's thanks to him that we were united, he's got to be on Chaldea's side. Yeah, maybe. I mean, it'd be great if that turned out to be the case. Anyway, Paragon and Mash, there's something I want you to keep in mind. Yes, the heroic spirit who came here from Atlantis may all be gone now. But you still had allies here willing to risk their lives for you. So while it might feel like you're fighting all on your own, sometimes you're not. You may not be able to see it, but your home world of proper human history is still here to back you up. Yeah, there's always been someone around to help us. Hearing you say that is all the reassurance I need to know. You'll be alright. Foe? I see you're ready to go, Foe. That's the spirit. You're right, motivation is the key to success, and we're gonna need all the motivation we can get so we can settle things once and for all. What does saying it out loud scare you? Don't worry, we can do this. You guys already took out 2 of the gods. But we only managed to do that because we had so many servants helping us. Not to mention they only had all enhanced. Not to mention they had all enhanced their spirit origins using the Olympian gods Theos Kiromiya. On top of all that, they had to risk everything they had, and even then, we were only just able to eke out a victory. That isn't good, Mash. You've been bit by the cowardice bug. Foe? A cowardice bug. Bugs like that need to be shaken off as soon as possible. So on the note, go ahead and Ortonax up, Mash. Oh, she's about to beat some sense into her? Huh? Go on. No need to be modest. You know we only just got up, right? Lucky, you can shake off the cowardice bug pretty easy just by getting in some exercise. Which means you're doing this too, whether you like it or not. Oh, absorb the other person. Okay. That goes for you too, Mr. Detective. Don't think I don't see you watching over there. Good grief. It would seem Easter Samurai intuition, especially at a Sword Saint's level, is a frightening thing indeed. Holmes, should you be up and about yet? Oh yes, I'm quite alright, Miss Caroline. In fact, I feel even lighter on my feet now than I did before when we left the border. As far as I can tell, I've recovered to the point where I may indeed engage in hand-to-hand combat once again. That's nice. What about your spirit core? Is it good to go? These medicinal nanomachines are truly marvelous things. You found Demeter Kiyomiya here too? Correct. These Theos Kiyomiya, a collective mass of microscopic authority, are named after Demeter, one of the goddesses of the Greek mythology. Demeter is the goddess of fertility and the deity who cultivates ambrosia, a food which grants immortality. According to the mythology of proper human history, she is best known for the tale of her beloved daughter's abduction. Persephone was abducted by Hades and made the queen of the underworld, despite Demeter's desperate attempts to bring her back to Olympus. Demeter Kiyomiya. I remember seeing it once back in Atlantis, but... True, but the Kiyomiya that were being kept here are far more effective than the Kiyomiya we saw in Atlantis. If we could bring some back with us to study later, I have no doubts we could. Okay, no more questions. It's time for morning training. Don't worry, Paragon. We can have breakfast as soon as it's over. Paragon? Looks like there's no getting out of it. Right, understood. This morning training system seems like it'll be very different from the simulator training I'm used to, but I'll do my best to adjust. Very well, Miss Miyato, if you insist. But be warned. But it's a highly versatile martial arts. If you think your katana alone will grant you an easy victory, I should advise you to reconsider your tactic. Oh, I see. Somebody remembered to bring their trash talk. Okay, guys, come on. Come at me whenever you like. My void sword is ready and waiting. Please don't give me the void debuff. She's like, oh, I'm gonna defense everyone down. Take this void debuff. I said we go with Tiamat. As you know, she's alter ego. Not against the save. Okay, I bet. I forgot the advantage right there. Saber's loose to Archer. Vargas? Okay, I can put Vargas. I think she's here, right? If not, that's okay. We'll just go with what you have here. We'll go with what you have here. We'll go with there you go. Alright, let me refresh. Bogus. Time. Dang, starting member mash. Dang. Okay. It's arts. Oh, we're about to clean out Musashi. Whoops. I had on farm mode. Okay. That single target is a must. Make it a single target. The time has come. Vargas final season, yeah. That artwork is quite nice. I'll do this. We killing it. Are we one-shotting it? Wait, is this the attack buff thing? No, it's not. Alright, it's fine. They knew what they were doing. Doused her up. Dang, that was a little bit over. Okay, she's getting a bit pissed off now. Goodness. Oh, she's about to do the void stuff. Do it to Mash. Can I get 3 of a kind of Vargas? Dang it. Here she come. Good thing she removes the buff after the fact. It's not like, oh, like the other one, Kakikire, which is like, I'm gonna remove that thing before you get the smackdown. She have triple Avalon. I think she could survive one more wallop. Let's do this, triple Avalon. Alright. Is that a 1 turn or how many is that? Let me see. Oh, ignore short hits and invincible for 1 turn. Okay. Good thing she doesn't do that in the right order.
少しだけね。
同感だ。
神明、凍結展開。これは多くの後、多くの願いを受けた幻想の城。呼応せよ、モールだ。やめろさ。たとえどれだけ遠くとも、私の向こうに楽園はある。行方を感じて目を開けて、ウィンズ・オブ・アバロン。
せや
Alright, the time has come. Make a single target.
私に守られるがいい。
Well, she's got a short hit. I see, that's just invade, so this is fine if I just do this.
いいことだと思うよ。
マキシマムレスキュー。
いいとも。
火災発生。特殊放水車を要請する。総員待機。UDK バーゲスト出る。街の平和は私が守る。
Well, that's nice. She removes the buffs. Turns the cooldown. She wasn't too bad.
損害想定内です。なんとかなりました、先輩。
Onwards. Well, I know, right? Food always tastes even better after a good workout. I think Olympian cuisine might be one of my favorite foods. I agree. At first glance, it doesn't appear to be anything special. There's bread, ham, salad, milk, the same kind of staples we've seen of all sorts of different times and places. And yet, for some reason, I can't put my finger on it. Everything here tastes completely different. Well, maybe not completely different. I mean, the bread is still bread. The ham is still ham. The milk is still milk, and so on. But from the moment you first take a bite, you can sense the flavors changing at least 3 times. And every single one of them is breathtakingly culinary experience. I know exactly what you mean. I had the same reaction the first time I went around sampling the local cuisine. While we're still only a small fraction of what Olympus has to offer, we've only still seen a small fraction of it. We now know that it is an enormous, highly advanced city with many tall skyscrapers that its nanomachines guarantee its populace long, healthy lives. And that is incredibly prosperity. I might add that it is independent of any sort of currency, enables its people to devote themselves to art and academia, thereby further enriching its culture with no need for any kind of manual labor whatsoever. Yeah, they have the machines doing all of the work. Their daily lives are happy affairs, praising the gods with bright smiles on their faces. War and combat are simply unknown to the people of Olympus. Well, except for where we are concerned. Yes, I see. There is no better world to describe the interstellar mountainous city of Olympus than Utopia. Utopia. The sort of earthly paradise people have been dreaming of since time immemorial. Even the food here is simply sublime. The Chinese Lostbelt Empire was arguably a type of utopia as well, but he kept them in ignorance. But its ideals were only achieved by concentrating its culture on a single point. Olympus, on the other hand, shares its wealth in every sense of the word, and all without any conflict whatsoever. It really is a paradise beyond human achievement, I must say, even if I don't know what proper human history could do against an opponent like this. So we should let it be, right? And live out the end of days of this Lost Belt? Whoa. Hey Holmes. Yes. Did you not notice Paragon and Mash had only just cheered up? Did you really have to rain on their parade like that? Not cool, bro. Besides, as far as we're concerned, it doesn't matter whether this place is a utopia, an amusement park, or a front for organized crime. You guys are from proper human history, which means this is a fight for your own survival. And the only way you guys are going to walk away from this alive is if you beat them before they beat you. Paragon, you're here on behalf of all of proper human history. I know that isn't the kind of position you wanted, and that you didn't really get a choice, but there it is. And you got enough in your udon bowl as it is, without piling on extra toppings. Perhaps, but all that being said, Miss Miyamoto, Musashi, thank you for worrying about us. I really do appreciate it. But it's okay. We need to know who it is we're up against. We need to know who the people of the Lost Belts are, even if we are attempting to cut their world off from proper human history again. We already decided that it would be wrong to avert our eyes from the effects of our actions. Wait, is that what this is about? Right and wrong and stuff? Huh? Oh, what? I mean, the key to walking away from battle alive is to keep things as simple as possible, right? It's all well and good to worry about your opponent's circumstances, your own moral code and stuff. But you have to be able to separate yourself from those things, because worrying about them in the heat of battle is only going to help you lose. I mean, I'm not good for much except slicing folks up like some kind of human meat grinder, you know? So any undue pressure about stuff not directly related to matters of life and death when I'm in the thick of enemy territory is the last thing I need. I see. So your comments just know. I see. So your comments just now were not meant to console Mr. Paragon, Miss Curelight, but rather. Yep, I just wanted you to cut it out to make it easier for me to win. Basically, there's a time and place for everything, and that includes thinking. I mean, yes, that's obviously true, and I do get your point, but I don't know if I'll always be able to do that, but I'll try. Exactly, just take it easy. Can't win a fight if you're busy moping. Anyway, I'm sorry again for raining on our breathless parade. Oh man, now my soup's all cold. No need to apologize, Miss Miyamoto. I should have known better than to voice those thoughts at that time. Hey, yeah, you were the one who rained on this parade in the first place, not me. Ah, now that you mention it, I suppose I wasn't I? I do beg your pardon. Is that all you got to say for yourself, folk? Please go on. Easy on him, Musashi. What in the world are you all doing at this hour? Oh, I'm sorry. We didn't mean to disturb you. Oh, and thank you for breakfast. It was absolutely scrumptious. Breakfast? Oh, I see. That wasn't me. The twins made it for you. Twins, are those the people we saw yesterday? That's right, though I doubt you saw their faces at the time. Why don't you come out already? This is your base of operations now, isn't it? She looks just like that, Yume. She looks similar to Yume Ren. That's who she reminds me of. At least the hairstyle. I'm glad to hear you like the food. Were you able to get enough rest last night? We slept great, thank you. Oh good, I've never had guests before, so I wasn't sure if I did a good job or not. Never mind that now, sister. I'm glad to see the Kiyomiya is working. I wasn't sure if it would fit your spirit origin or not. Indeed it did, and I'm greatly obliged for your help. Kiyomiya. You? Kiyomiya? Don't be ridiculous. It'd be one thing if you undergone biomodifications like the elite soldiers, but there's no way Kiyomiya could ever be compatible with a normal human from proper human history. Yeah, doesn't that look like Yume Ren? This one? That looks like her. Well, the hairstyle. Oh, it's back. Okay, I'm back. Okay, my bad. No, all I did for you was cast a light healing spell. Says you didn't even have more than a few scratches. Thank you. You're very welcome. Oh. Caldia, visitors from proper human history. Well, I guess that doesn't really apply to you at all, but anyway. Hey, you must mean me. I'm Marcarios, and this is my older sister, Adele. It's very nice to meet all of you. We're the Goddess Royal Alliance, or at least what's left of it. Not they. Uh-oh. Did they mess up somehow? Here we go. It's good to be both of you. I'm Ash Kirlight. I'm Miyamoto Musashi, wandering servant. How about you in the hood? I have nothing to do with those twins. Introducing myself now would only complicate things. You don't say. Okay then. Who's your owl friend? Not them? Hoot. Foe. All the gods of Olympus are machines. A mechanical owl shouldn't exactly be a shock. If you say so. Adele Marcarios. Thank you again for saving us yesterday. I don't know what we have done without you. And both from Olympus. Yes, that's right. We're both official Olympus residents. We have citizens, numbers, and permanent ration cards, and we live our lives by the grace of the gods' blessing and protection. But the truth is, not now, sister. Save it for later. They need to know what's going on before we tell them about us. Marcarios. I said no. It's still too soon to tell them about us. Besides, Caldia, I'm sure there's someone else you'd all rather be talking to. So I want to know, does the people who died, you know, like Helena and all those other people that were there, does that include Medea? Not Medea, right? Voice recording for Caldia. Pattern V2. Alright, where to begin? For the time being, I've entered all the information we possess into the base data processing unit. It's embedded with a simple artificial personality program, so it can answer most questions you might have. That concludes the video portion of the instructions. I'll let the artificial personality take it from here. There, I think that should do it. No, they went down. I was so excited to see Medea too. I was like, oh great, we're gonna see Medea. No, if she's dead. Activation complete. From here on, I, the artificial intelligence, will do the talking. Yes, the picture remains the same, but get over it. The image is a recreation made by recycling existing video footage. So they got ChatGPT right here. And AI, huh? I suppose that shouldn't surprise me from one of the greatest scientific minds among the heroic spirits. Don't forget, you can always switch to me if you don't care for the half-witted eccentric persona. They even have different models, you know, You know how they have like the voices that you could talk to in ChatGPT? This is what this is. They got the chat bots. You can also switch to me if you prefer. Let's talk to Elena. I can't do anything Mahatma related though. Sorry, I can't be more help. Anyway, hi there, Kalians. It's nice to meet you all. Yelena. So the servants who left these recordings for us weren't summoned to Kalia, nor are they ones who met in any of the singularities. Rather, they're all heroic spirits from proper human history who were summoned here to this Lostbelt. I don't know, Edison only materialized like that in that singularity. Yes, good point. Thomas Edison's Lionhead spirit origin only came about in the fifth singularity. So he should still retain his memories of us, just like John Alter. Alright, let's begin with the basic of Olympus. Your opponents here are, in words, gods. That was me. I decided to pause the AI for a bit. Before you hear any more, I wanted to warn you that you guys you'll probably be shocked by what they have to say. It might even be enough to make you despair completely. Zetsubo. Some of the heroic spirits that made it here only stuck around long enough to say nobody could win against gods. So I just wanted to make sure you're ready for what comes next. It's okay, keep playing it. Stop pausing it. Right, we can't do anything if we don't know what we're up against. So please, Macarius Adele, let us see the rest. First, let's begin with the gods. The gods of Olympus, the rulers of this Lostbelt, are genuine deities that have existed since the age of gods. Those deities include the ones you may have seen in Atlantis, are beings who came here from far, far across the universe, in a galaxy far, far away. So they're aliens. I trust Macarius and Adele are there as well. They, like all residents of Olympus, refer to the gods as thus. Deities who came from across the sea of stars, the great ones. The descendants of primordial chaos, the great systems of prosperity, who bear the Cronus crown. And of course, the 12 Olympian machine gods. The Sea of Stars. We knew that these machine gods were interstellar weapons, but this is way bigger than I was expecting. I mean, huh? So, hang on, let me just make sure I got this straight. You said these are super ancient gods who came here across the Sea of Stars, right? So then, that would make them space aliens, right? Not quite. It would not be entirely accurate to refer to them merely as intelligent life forms from another planet. Based on everything we know now, it seems they are more akin to machines from extremely advanced civilization. One that may reside outside our galaxy at the far ends of our universe, or an entirely different universe altogether. Yes, that's more or less correct. I'm surprised. I thought you guys would be a lot more taken aback. Why aren't you? Because like in proper human history, they think there's aliens out there. Well, after Atlantis, I have a feeling they'd be something like that. I see. Alright, now should be a good time to proceed. Next, I have more information about the gods for you. From this point onward, I will be telling you how this Lostbelt differs from proper human history, and at what point in time it diverged. First of all, how did these gods originally come to be? The first gods were born from primordial chaos, and eventually the younger generation fought the Titanomachia, the First Great War. Up until this point, the world was largely the same as it was depicted in the myths of proper human history. The Titanomachia was a war between the Titans and the gods of the old generation, and Olympus, the gods of the new. As I recall, Zeus defeated his own father, Cronus, the king of the Titans, and banished him into the pit of Tartarus. And in doing so, he gained control over the rest of the pantheon. The gods of Olympus won that war, and Zeus became omnipotent as a result. Omnipotent. Then there was a second Machia. This one took place roughly 14,000 years ago. During this war, also known as Leucomachia, the gods of Olympus did battle with an enemy that threatened the entire world. Unfortunately, details pertaining to this event are scarce. Not only was it not recorded in proper human history, most citizens of Olympus know very little about it. However, my distinguished colleagues, what we can say for sure is that we are certain that this is the point where the Lost Belt diverged from proper human history. Oh. The Third Great War, Gigantomachia, a battle against the enormous gigantes that took place about 3,500 years ago, serves as further evidence of that divergence. In proper human history, this Machia was the second and final great war of Greek mythology. In the version from proper human history, the gods of Olympus, aided by human heroes, eventually succeeded at vanquishing the mighty gigantes. I think the great hero Hercules even played a part, if I'm not mistaken. But in this Lost Belt, the gods eradicated every last gigant in an instant. How did they accomplish such a feat? By preserving their machine god bodies, which in proper human history had long since faded away, I would presume. Sonotori. The Olympian gods used their original machine god bodies to obliterate the gigantes all at once. At least that is our working theory in proper human history. The gods' machine bodies were lost long ago. But here in this Lost Belt, the gods were somehow able to retain them. The result is the very Atlantic Lost Belt in which we find ourselves, a world ruled by machine gods who still possess their once lost mechanical bodies. So then, in proper human history, the gods of Olympus were meant to lose their machine bodies between 14,000 and 3,500 years ago. So it would seem, but here the gods remained alive and well. And as long as these mechanical gods from beyond our universe have their original bodies, they are not even affected by the deterioration of the age of gods that was meant to occur. That brings us to the fourth and final Machia, as which the second, this one also has no equivalent in proper human history. It is peculiar to this Lost Belt. A few thousand years ago, the gods of Olympus split into two factions. Their conflicts revolved around what to do about humans, whether to rule over them or to coexist along them. This schism led to a fierce disagreement between the gods. Zeus, Demeter, Aphrodite, Hera, and Artemis wanted to rule. Why was Artemis outcast? Oh, I guess he was just out there guarding the perimeter, but because Olympus, outside of it, Olympus. While Athena, Hades, Poseidon, Apollo, Hestia, and Ares and Hephaestus wanted to coexist. Yeah, so this, we haven't met. Athena died. Hades, I think, died. Poseidon, we destroyed him. Ares, we didn't meet him. Hephaestus died. So, okay. Oh wait, Apollo. Yeah, Apollo is with that kid, Paris. That's what it was. We believe Poseidon initially sided with the rulers, but that he eventually ended up defecting to the other faction. Gods on each side enlisted loyal lesser gods as their disagreement devolved into full-blown war. This battle went on to be called the Olympia Machia, or the Great War of Olympus, and is known in Atlantis. Both sides fought fiercely, and the remains of the mechanical gods who were killed fell to Atlantis, where they formed islands. In the end, the faction supporting rule over humans was victorious, and the opposition survivors were punished. For example, Poseidon, the sea god, his divine core was rewritten, reducing him to a little more than an automated defense unit to protect the Great Pit. And that brings us to today. The gods who emerged triumphant in all four Machia continue to rule this lost belt, with the city of Olympus as their capital. Today there are 5 gods who reside within Olympia Dodona, the great orbital shrine that makes up the center of the city. Zeus, the omnipotent god of the heavens. Europa, the divine queen who fused with the goddess of Hera. Demeter, the goddess of the land. Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty. And finally, Discordia, the ancient twin gods. That explains why Discordia would kill without hesitation. She got that human hater trait inside of her. The Dioscodi. Not now, Marcarius, not now. No, let him spew his hate. I want to see what he has to say. Technically, the twin gods of Discordia are divine spirit, which makes them neither living gods nor mechanical ones. They died once and were transformed into the divine spirit. Who killed them, you ask? I wish I could say it was the god Destroyer Alliance, but it wasn't. No, their killer was the Crypta Custodia Wudim. Dang, he killed them into submission. He had to do it to them. A human mage killed a god. After that, Custodia formed a contract with the Discordia, making them his servant. To be clear, he did not summon their divine spirit from the throne of heroes. He formed a contract with genuine gods after they had been killed and reduced to a divine spirit. Dang, they got demoted. The Discordia are not among the 12 Olympians, but they are no mere lesser god either. They are one of the ancient gods who accepted Zeus as the supreme being. To be precise, they are divinity that have been around since before the Gigantomachia. I wonder if that's the same story with kindness. Did Custodia just reduce her and stuff like that? From what we've been able to gather, they joined the pantheon by imbibing of Zeus' divine blood, his Kiramaya. They are now considered children of Zeus, while withstanding equal to Apollo in his glory days. And Custodia Wudim managed to kill them. Hard to believe, isn't it? If only it really was bad as joke as it sounds. They should have just stayed dead. Them, a divine spirit. What a load of crap. Read and find out. I was like, because I was like, I'm surprised, and yet I don't know why the Discordia have the intense hatred for kindness for some reason, too. I was like, isn't it from the same cloth? So, oh yeah, they got killed by Custodia too. Alright. The Dioscuri are deranged. They don't deserve to be spirits, let alone gods. Please forgive my brother. He swore an oath to the late Athena that he would one day take revenge on the twin gods. Ah, he's an Athena lover, okay. For their murder of our 100-odd fellow Alliance members. The Discordia are bloodthirsty maniacs, death incarnate human killers. They killed almost all of the humans who joined the God Destroyer Alliance. That sounds about right. There are only a few members left now, including us. And it was thanks to Musashi that the story didn't end, and she blocked that shot from the Discordi. I have nothing to say to that. Well, Callians, why are you acting like that? Aren't you scared? We're up against murderous gods, gods who actually enjoy going out of their way to slaughter people. And if that isn't bad enough, there's another guy out there strong enough to make them his flunkies. Just the idea that you might have any chance of beating them is absurd. Now this makes a lot more sense now. When I first square up with Custodia, he's like, if only you knew my backstory, you would say you would have the easy way out. Here, take this NP. Alright, later. Yeah, it's absurd. We know some of the heroic spirits gave up and walked away when they found out how the Gigo Tomakia ended. So what about you guys? What's your deal? Does the fact that you guys aren't more phased mean your world, proper human history, is even more messed up than ours? Yeah. So she did us a solid right there. She's like, you know what? She's like, I barely stopped that blade. So that was a good one right there. But I appreciate her story like contribution, but not her story fights. Stop that, Marcarios. There's no way to speak to people we just met. Oh. Sorry, everyone. I got a little out of hand there. Please, it's fine. Really, I don't blame you for being taken aback. We've encountered so many different threats by now that I suppose our reactions must seem strange. Gods from another universe, mechanical gods with frightening powers. Twin gods who enjoy taking lives, Custodia, who's strong enough to make those gods his servant. Every last one of them is a tremendous threat. Threats that we may very well not be able to deal with. And these revelations are shocking for us. It's tempting to despair in the face of such overwhelming odds. But all that being said, we still have, we're just going to do the best we can. You're going to do the best you can? That's it? Are you kidding me? You know, Paragon, I honestly can't tell if you're being arrogant or modest. Okay, I think I get it now. Yeah, that's it. I get what you guys are like now. You're just how Edison said you'd be. He was right after all. So you Callians really are just a pack of weirdos, huh? Well, nothing wrong with that. Hey, you convinced me like you convinced me. I like you guys. Oh. So you guys get it now, huh? That's great. They really are weirdos, aren't they? Oh. Oh, what the hell are you? Don't jump on us. What are you, some kind of squirrel? Look, Marcarius, I think he likes you. Oh. You know what I should probably do? I have a stream box over there where I can hit a button. I think what I'll do, maybe for next stream, I'll just program that button to play the faux sound effect. I'll just do that. So I'll just like faux and then just do that. Just hit the button every time. That way I don't have to say the faux part. I just hit the button. Yeah, that sound effect. Hey, get away from my sister. To get that beast away from it. The beast of the end. Molo. It is. It's quite nice. It's very hype. Weirdos, huh? Yes, that's the right way to think about them, Macarios. They're all hopeless weirdos. That's been the case in every other Lostbelt so far too. That's not to say that means they'll be able to accomplish the same thing here. What are you talking about? You're only here because the collaborator sent you, right? So where do you get off acting like you know so much about Chaldea? Collaborator. That's what we call the person who's been so kindly aiding our God Destroyer alliance. We don't know their true identity either, but they've been a big help for us, especially with procuring supplies for combat. We were told that the collaborator sent this hooded man here to help us, but... Say, you in the hood, you are on our side, right? Of course. I am for now, at least. Otherwise, I would have let the gods do what they wanted with you. I'm an acquaintance of this collaborator you speak of, and on second thought, that's enough for now. Excuse me, I apologize if I'm way off the mark with this, but are you... Caddock Zenfless? Nah. That... Caddock? How you deduce that? I'll spare you the details of this particular exercise in deduction, but suffice to say I'm something of an expert when it comes to disguises. Well, Sir Hood, did we get it right? Dang, Caddock. It's a good thing we didn't kill him. Otherwise, we'd be dead too. Whoa. What do you guys know each other or something? Oh my, does this mean you're part of Chaldea too? Me? Part of Chaldea? You gotta forget it. Just hell no. Holmes, I get it. But how the actual hell did you see through my disguise? Mash? I was using a disguise spell and everything. I'm sorry. Whoa, what are you apologizing for? It's not like you did anything wrong. Yeah, fair enough. Caddock, you saved our lives, so now we're even. Saved you? I only bailed you out because it would have been a waste to let you die back there. Oh, what? Is he gonna pull like that guy from the first Lostbelt, like that wolf? He's like, I just want to see you reach the true pinnacle of despair as they bring you down. As far as I'm concerned, you're nothing more than pawns. I can use to throw Olympus off balance, just like you did in Russia. So I'm gonna use you guys to further my own agenda. That's the only reason I bailed you out. It's not like you even have a snowball's chance in hell of winning here anyways. Between Zeus, Wu Demon, and the foreign gods' alter egos, you guys are hilariously outclassed. That's why I don't have to bother trying to kill you myself. Oh? Caddock, as a former member of Team A myself, I'm not part of Team A anymore. I'm a cryptor now. Hell, maybe I'm not even that anymore. Does this mean you are not acting with or on behalf of the cryptors here, Caddock Zenfless? Hell no, I don't have the slightest idea what Woodham's thinking. He went out of his way to have Rasputin get me, but he never told me why. Yeah, he said, I remember that meeting, he was like, you may have lost your Russian Lostbelt, but that doesn't mean you need to enter another crypto service. And then Zenf was like, you want my serious light? He's like, no, I don't want that. And then he just let him go. You can keep your serious light too. You're a free man, Caddock. All I want you to do in this Atlantic Lostbelt is whatever you see fit. Is that your idea of a joke? Because if not, it doesn't make any sense. Aren't you the one who sent Rasputin to get me off the shadow border? That was entirely the priest's decision. I have no right to give that foreign god's disciples orders. As for why he saved you, your guess is as good as mine. Perhaps he only wished to prevent you from leaking information. Yeah, well, there's not much I could have told him besides which crypto was where. None of us have any idea what the Tree of Emptiness are actually made of, or who the foreign god really is, after all. Of course not. The foreign god couldn't care less about any of you, after all. The foreign god isn't going to tell you anything, nor do they expect anything from you. They couldn't care less if you lived or died. Whereas the same cannot be said for me, as my every action carries the weight of the grandest expectations. Is that so? Well, excuse the hell out of me for being a third-rate mage. Oh, that's weird. What was that long silence about? It's fine, Kadok. Just get some rest for now. We won't have to worry about Caldia for the time being. Kindness has told me they made their way to Scandinavia, and there's nothing we can do about them there. So my only orders for you are to go about and see Olympus for yourself. And you actually think I can live up to your expectations, even after the total mess of things I made in Russia? I'm not the one who decided whether or not you'll do that, Kadok. You are. He might as well not have told me anything at all, for all the difference it would have made. So now, I'm doing whatever the hell I want, just like he asked. That's part of why I'm here. I'm gonna uncover the truth behind Zeus, and what's Wooding's really thinking. Oh, and what do you mean by that last part? I don't actually care what's going on in that head of his, but it's not like I've got anything else to do. So I'm gonna show that stuck-up aristocrat that things aren't gonna go his way. He's like, I'm gonna throw a wrench in his nice little machine here. Oh, what's this now? Goodness, it's been so long since I've seen your face in person. I think the last time must have been back then, when you tore those poor Discouraged twins apart. Oh, is Custodia here? Custodia Wooding. Good day, Lady Demeter, goddess of the land. Indeed, it has been a long time, hasn't it? It seems your memory partition is functioning properly. At least in regards to me. Oh my, how terrifying. That sounds as though you could destroy our true Alethian bodies whenever you like. Ah, Custodia Wooding, a dreadful human capable of killing us single-handedly. You're quite the problem child, aren't you? It saddens me so, particularly since I think you as my own son. The one-man army himself? Yeah, even these guys like, you know what? We know you're capable of ending us, so we're not even going to try it. Demeter, mournful goddess of the land. It's just Demeter. How bad can she be? Mother of the beautiful Persephone, who inherited much of Gaia's disposition. I urge you to share your boundless motherly love with humans other than myself. So far, out of all the fights that I fought, I would have to say Gajna, was the scariest of all of them. That guy was, oh my goodness, that guy, I did not expect it. We call that. I don't think she could be as bad as Arjuna. That man, he didn't care about no Solomon defense. He's like, this is what I think about your Solomon defense. Like, strip everything and then just blow him up. 53 turns? 53 turns to... Nah, listen, I got a hallucinate ruler for that. So we're gonna cycle her up, mess her up right there, and go from there. Just wait. I have no need of it. Oh my. But there can be no children without mothers, nor can children grow without love and nourishment. Gods and humans are the same in this respect. Humans. This new intelligent species still barely older than a newborn baby. This precious, fragile intelligence we met on this planet. I love you all truly. Yeah, but here's the thing: that Solomon defense still doesn't do anything at Arjuna. He doesn't care about it. He just strips everything. And I found out the hard way. Right? It's like, all right, I'm gonna open up Solomon defense. I was like, he can't do anything against me. He's like, nope, take that thing off, and then he blows up Castoria all in one hit. I was like, well, there goes my front line. I love you as though you were my own children. And I love you too, Cristadia. In the same way you love Persephone? Why yes, you know, Zeus is absolutely right. There's nothing that brings a mother like me more joy than to see her children grow up strong and happy. Which is why there's nothing I wouldn't do to make that happen. I would take an arrow for my children. I would gladly give up my body, my life, my Athlean for them. Truly. Yeah, Kagekiyo. And I still remember how that fight went. The one who bailed me out was Palm was like, yo, why don't you just build Baba Sith? And we juiced her up to the moon, and then we kept looping it, and we took out Arjuna. Then I will take you at your word, Demeter, and trust that that you truly bear a mother's love. As a matter of fact, Zeus' ideas of restoration of mythology are closer to your own notion than to mine. Cristadia, what are you saying? Do you mean that Olympus, the heart of our Lostbelt, is not the ideal you seek? Of course it is. We only differ when it comes to our endpoints. You see, I believe that the gods should be even stronger than they are now. Kageki's gonna be worse? I could probably like one tap her, right? Cause if I remember correctly, no wait, I can't remember. There's some units that open up with MP out the bat. Run back in the day was just a face race, no supports, all grilled DPS race at the bottom. Martha took the last hit. Yeah, it was like a 1v1 all the way at the end. Now let me tell you one more thing. This is the single most important piece of information about the gods of Olympus I have to share. The king of this Lostbelt is Zeus, an all-powerful god who naturally still possesses his original mechanical body. He has existed since the age of gods, just like Scotty from the Scandinavian Lostbelt. It looks like this is information we already knew. Zeus, an omnipotent god who has continued to exist for millennia. If we are to take his omnipotent nature at face value, then we would seem to be well and truly outmatched. And yet, Mr. AI, I can't imagine how the electricity expert whose visage you now borrow would waste his time challenging an opponent whom he truly has no hope of defeating. Ah, you cut that right in the heart of things, don't you? Still, I can't hardly blame you for interrupting Mr. Holmes. You have every right to be concerned. And you're correct. Your hope of defeating Zeus is small, perhaps even infinitesimal, but it does exist. Zeus is indeed almighty, but he is not truly omnipotent. Oh? So he can do all sorts of things, but he can't do everything. You catch on quickly. Yep, that's exactly right. As king of the gods, Zeus possesses authority over infinite things, but conceptually he does not possess infinite authority. We believe that Zeus turned into a nigh omnipotent god by synchronizing all of the Titans' authority with his own, followed by the many lesser gods' authority, and ultimately even his fellow 12 Olympian authority. That much at least would seem to be a matter of little doubt. But conceptually, he is not truly omnipotent, and so does not have control over all beings in this world. At least that's our working theory. I see. Do you happen to have anything to support that theory? Of course, the very aligned space you're standing in right now. The underground infrastructure. Precisely, a truly omnipotent being would have known about villains like us lurking our underground the instant we set foot in here. And yet he has no awareness of this underground infrastructure. This was the domain of Hades, his fellow god, and he doesn't even bother to look at it. From this, we can surmise that the gods of Olympus are conceptual deities, like those from the other mythologies, and simultaneously that they only depend on Kiromiya, their authority-like functionality, from the enormous mechanical bodies they use as ships to cross the sea of stars. They're like, if it's barren, don't even check Hades' spot. That is our chance of defeating Zeus lies. For if we are up against a nigh omnipotent king of gods, with authority over infinite things, rather than a truly omnipotent god, then you should have a chance, however minuscule, of defeating him. Thank you, Mr. AI. It has been both informative and hope-inspiring. Foe. Alright, let's get back to business. Though that said, the only business that remains is the information we have pertaining to Zeus. The omnipotent king of gods, head of the 12 Olympians and victor of all 4 Machia, has formed a contract with Castadia as his equal. Well, bet you had no idea about that, did you? I found out through the backstory. Foe? You mean Castadia formed a contract not with the divine spirit, but a god? But that shouldn't even be possible. Granted, there's no way to test that for sure, given that gods don't exist in our own time. But theoretically speaking, forming a contract as equal is... Okay, hang on. Let me make sure I've got this all straight. You're saying this Castadia guy formed a contract not with a divided spirit, but with an actual god, right? And not just any god, but a Demir's that's as big deal as the Volcana. He formed a contract with an alien. On top of that, full marks, Miss Miyamoto. In fact, from an historic Buddhist perspective, it was truly perfect answer. That's right. Zeus is neither a divine spirit that returned to nature, nor a divided spirit. He is proper Almighty God. And Castadia Wudim has formed a contract with him. It puts him on completely equal footing with Zeus, as his sworn friend, no less. Holy cow, that's the kind of mage you guys have been up against? Silence speaks volumes here. That's right. Not that we managed to stand against him for very long. Wooden's best clear about his goal from the beginning. He's been clear about his goal from the beginning. We are about to fulfill this world with inhuman mystic secrets. We restore the age of gods. And if this Atlantic Lostbelt ends up becoming the new proper timeline, that goal's pretty much be fulfilled. He formed that contract with Zeus to be certain this Lostbelt's tree of emptiness would grow bigger so as soon as possible. But even with all that said, there's something that doesn't add up. A Lostbelt needs its tree of emptiness to maintain its existence, but it doesn't change the fact that as far as that Lostbelt's king is concerned, that tree of emptiness is something strange and entirely foreign. But Zeus had no problem with this. I'm sure he and Wuding came to some kind of secret agreement about it. But at this point, I can't see what their endgame could be. Folk, keep that furball away from me, would you? I never liked it, even when I was at Chaldea. Dang, that's right, you tell it, Calder. Folk? Easy there, folk. It's okay. Alright, Mash, this is the last thing I have to tell you. If you want to see Wudin, You can find him in the Great Orbital Shrine, Olympia Dodona. That's where you'll find Zeus too. So come straight to the headquarters. Hey Kodak, if you want to come back to Chaldea. What, have you finally snapped, Paragon? I might not be a crypter anymore, but it doesn't mean I want to go back to Chaldea. I can't trust either side, and I'm sick of being somebody else's pawn. If I'm gonna fight back, I'm gonna do it on my own terms. So much more badass doing it this way anyway. Anastasia's probably say the same thing, if she were still alive. Let's go summon her up real quick. Alright, that's it for me. I'm getting out of here. I've said everything I wanted to, and I've gotten everything I needed out of being the collaborator's lackey. I doubt we'll ever see each other again. That'll really depend on you guys. Kadak. See you around, Mash. Just make sure you don't stick with the losing team there for too long. You felt for yourself how strong those gods were, right? Well, Zeus and Woodim are even stronger. If I were you, Chaldeans, I'll take a good look. Think about how you want to spend the rest of your lives. If you do survive long enough, make sure you go see Woodim. He has planted the seeds of chaos. He's alright, chaos. And there's finally a battle at the end of the road. Okay, cool. You know, I thought I'd tail him for a bit to see where he's going. But hey, he lost me pretty quickly. Too bad. Man, turning invisible and then a rapid movement ability is a hell of a spell combo. It might not technically be teleportation, but it sure feels like it. Maybe he's using Talisman and Mystico's this Custodia gave him or something. You were tailing Kadak just now? Well, of course. How could I not after he tried to run off like that? Incidentally, I attempted to tell him as well, with equally dismal results. I suppose we should have known he wouldn't make it that easy for us. That being said, I believe the information Kadak Zemphlus shared with us is trustworthy enough to use in determining our next course of action. After all, he would have little reason to lie to us, except for personal revenge. Well, while he certainly has cause to desire vengeance on us, taking into account his manner of speech, facial expressions, tone of voice, and what he told us. We get it. Enough with the deductions shticked already. Basically, we have to make our own way to Custodia, just like Kadak said, right? And eventually you guys have to cut down this tree of emptiness these insanely powerful super beings are defending. Boy, talk about playing on hard mode. This is gonna be a fun challenge. It's gonna be hard mode if I use her again. Oh. Since this collaborator person is good enough to support this underground society here, I figured I'd make our lives a lot easier if I could make contact with them. But it looks like that's not happening anytime soon. So, what's our next step? Great Orbital Shrine, Olympia Dodona. If that's a normal floating building is acting as the gods and Custodia's base of operations, then our next step should be figuring out how we're going to get to it. We could try to get there in the border through a series of zero cells, but even if Zeus Thunderbolts somehow missed us while we were preparing, it wouldn't take long for the other gods and soldiers to overwhelm us with sheer force of numbers. There we go. What, did you bring a tank? What was that sound just now? Oh, that? I just defrosted something. Did you say defrost? Yep, I did. Paragon. We'd like to officially ask you to join the God Destroyer Alliance. We want you to come fight with us. You want to go to the Great Orbital Shrine, right? And you also need to cut down the Tree of Emptiness. Magulin that's even farther up past it, right? Then we should be able to help you with both goals. We have ways of traveling through airspace here. Furthermore, the Great Orbital Shrine is the God's throne. It's forbidden for humans to set foot in there. They won't let you in without a fight, but then you're gonna have to fight the gods anyway. I'd love for you two to sacrifice it for us. We will. Magillion, another galaxy name, though I had suspected as much. We'd be honored to help you. Oh, I just had a thought. Why don't we take the occasion to celebrate? Oh, by celebration do you mean yummy food? That's right. I made a pretty simple breakfast, but for special occasions like this... Sister. Sorry to interrupt, but I need to use this thing while it's still freshly defrosted. Oh, I see. Yes, you do, don't you? So, no yummy food just yet. Bummer. Oh yeah, that thing you defrosted. It's something you might have seen before. Here it comes. The floor just opened up and something huge is coming out from underneath it. Oh ho. Huh? It looks just like the hostile entities we encountered in Atlantis a number of times. They tamed them? It's a steel chimera, an autonomous weapon made out of high purity Kiromiya. That means can you eat it and get stronger? It used to serve the gods, but after Edison and Tesla made a number of adjustments to it, and Miss Blavatsky casting a spell to tame it, it now listens to us. It does a very good job too. Namiya, sit. As you can see, it's now this alliance-based trusty guardian. So next up, we're going to use it to see how strong you guys are. Trust you're okay with that? They wanted us to spar with it again? Yep, figured something like this was gonna happen. He's like, nah, I ain't trying to square up with that thing. Oh no, you don't? What's all that big talk from earlier ago, huh? Surely you're not about to say your Barutsu is no match for a little demonic beast, are you? Of course it is. I said Barutsu was a highly versatile martial arts, and I stand by that, but that doesn't mean using it to fight a creature like this isn't quite simply a pain in the posterior. Ah, you two really get along, huh? Anyway, we can back you guys up with artillery mystic codes, but we don't know much of when it comes to sword fighting. That's true, so we were hoping we could count on all of you to handle the melee combat, if you don't mind. Hey, you'll be fine, right, Mash? I mean, you got that giant shield and everything. Me? You heard him. Mash, battle position. Right, Paragon. Just give me a few minutes, please. If you all wouldn't mind. Emergency transportation complete. Setting output to 70%. Preparing to intercept combat training target. Only 70%? Not taking it serious. What's a berserker too? 1. Oh, there you are. Okay. We'll use... We can double hallucinate it up like this. She does need this battery though. Like this. Like that. Actually, no, she has her own battery, so I go like this. Like that. Oh, I did all this just for trash mobs? Dang. Let me see, is this single target or let me see. Oh, it's all, okay, it's all of them. I thought they were gonna be like, oh, it's gonna have like 2 or 3 health bars. Nope. That's enough. Okay, Neymar. You can rest now. The steel chimeras are going back into their underground storage hangar. The battle is over, Paragon. I never would have thought that chimera would divide itself like that. Is just me, Miss Miyamoto, or were you not taking this especially seriously? Looks like you guys really are strong. You obviously had a lot of experience fighting up close. That means you ought to be able to go toe-to-toe with the Royal Guard. But it's still not enough to beat the gods. So we're not going to use Tesla, Edison, and Blosfla as parting gifts. So we're going to use them. Okay. That's right, they left us a number of machines and a few different plans of attacks to use. These god-slaying blades are the best tools the God Destroyer lines can offer you. Adele, you're hurt? Huh? Oh, this? I guess I must have gotten hit with Nema's sharp shards went flying. Don't worry, I'll be fine. She's bleeding from her right arm. We have to stop it. These fragile humans. It's okay, she'll be fine. In fact, this is a good chance to show you something. Just stand back and watch. Your injury is healing itself. It still hurts, but the wound is gone now. By tomorrow, there won't be any trace of pain left. So it's really okay. You don't have to worry. Oh. You can burn us, shatter us, tear us apart. It doesn't matter. We'll always go back to our perfect forms. That's right. We never change no matter what happens to us. Any injury we suffer heals itself. That's how we've been remade. Thanks to the ambrosia, the Demeter Kirmora, they regularly give us to maintain our bodies. No citizen of Olympus will ever get sick. We're practically immortal now. No one can die. No one can kill. The gods are the only exceptions. They're the ones with the power to kill us. Huh. I'm sorry, I think I may have misheard you a moment ago. Did you just say you were practically, immortal? Yes, Miss Kirlight. He did indeed say that. I presume that means as long as the gods' authorities remain, you and the other people of Olympus will even come back from death. That's right. Come back from death. Immortality. The one thing humanity has continued to long for since their time immemorial. The ultimate goal of countless technologies, not to mention magecraft. And here it's just a fact of life. Just how advanced is Olympian civilization compared to ours. So every injury anyone gets heals automatically, and they never have to fear death. It is dang impressive, that's for sure. I can't even imagine what it would be like to live like that. Oh, I knew the city had achieved long, healthy lives for its citizenry. I never would have thought it had also found a way to bring them back from death. Never mind Utopia, this place would seem to be more akin to heaven, our collective idea of a blissful life after death. It almost strikes me as a calculated plan to forcibly evolve all of humanity into the realm of gods. Good gracious, I can only imagine the look on Kishi Huang's face if they were to hear about this. Yeah, he would be like, oh my goodness, send me here. He wants to be here because he's looking for immortality. Because those humans die at the young age of 30 and stuff like that. Because of the fruit. So if Olympians can even come back from life, does that mean that soldiers we fought is still alive? That means we never killed anybody. Right, now that you mention it. That reserve soldier we first fought after the alarm was sounded he was dead. I killed him myself. But now that you mention it, there was something strange about it. Even after dealt the killing blow, I didn't feel as if I'd really won. I guess him not actually dying would explain it. And that explains why Talos is immortal too. Oh well, he's not human, but you can't stop Talos. He's just an unstoppable machine. He didn't die. None of us can be killed here. Inflicting death is a power only to the gods have. Like even in the underworld, like what they did to Tiamat. By this point, that soldier will have come back to life and started thinking of ways to get his revenge. While we're on the subject, I might as well tell you this too. Even if we stop taking ambrosia, like me and sister have, the Kirmona inside our bodies will continue to function. So it'll always be like this, forever. Forever? Full. That's right, forever. And immortality is, well, eternal. Ever since that day the gods bestowed ambrosia on us aeons ago, we've always looked exactly like this. You mean you don't age either? That's right. So she's forever 16. We've been alive for a long time. A very, very long time. So that explains why those Olympians in Atlantic Lostbelt, they're like, oh, they're here. They're finally here to free us. Because they got tired of living. So that explains a lot right there. And I think they were immortal as well, probably. Well, never reached adulthood. We both stopped growing long ago. The adults are all happy that we're still children. They said children are weak and should be protected. So we should just let them and the gods take care of us and be grateful for it. Never mind that we passed adult age a long time ago. Now I see. While many Olympians may be fine with this enforced stagnation, the two of you are not. And while the gods may have succeeded at preserving happiness at the level of a society, it seems they were unable to extend their control to individual emotions. Truly fascinating. Very well. That at least makes clear why you two have chosen to rebel against the gods and assist us. But before we go any further, there's one thing I would like to confirm with you. Alright, fine with me. As you know, we are from Chaldea, a group of beings from proper human history. Our victory here would mean the end of this entire Lostbelt. Do you understand what that means? If we succeed at cutting down the Tree of Emptiness, everything here, Olympus, the gods, and all the people here, including you two, will disappear. No exceptions. Even knowing that, do you still wish to fight by our side? I like how Holmes just like make sure they don't have a change of heart at it, right? Oh, yeah, we do. We don't need to keep living the same day over and over again. We want to see a new tomorrow, even if it means we end up dying for it. They're still resolved. Oh no. Please don't be sad, Mash. We spent an entire century thinking this through from every possible angle. And this is what we decided. We want to see tomorrow, a real tomorrow. A day that's different from the one that came before. Something more than just another today. We've already lived more than enough for countless lifetimes. Do you have any idea how old I am? She's like 700 years old. Well, I remember everyone in Atlantis had a lifespan of at least a few hundred years. So I guess maybe twice that? Or several times that? A few hundred years, huh? The gods' protection must have worn pretty thin for them. I'm jealous. Back during the fourth Machia, we were actually supposed to go to Atlantis ourselves, along with all the other people who supported the faction that wanted coexistence between gods and humans. But what happened was, we missed the last boat, and we'll never have another chance, since the gods don't allow any of us to leave the city. Whoa, hold up. The fourth Machia was the war between the gods. Didn't that happen something like several hundred years ago? Several thousand years ago. So you guys are saying you're a few thousand years old. Goodness. No, we're not. I'd say we've been alive for about 10,000 years. That's right, 10,000 years plus a few centuries. 10 10,000 years. We're citizens of Olympus. But here's the thing. If there were... Yeah, they're older than... Yeah! they're older than Joe. Can you believe that? Oh my goodness. What thing that doesn't add up quite right is they said that the gods can take away like the human lives. Why can't they just try to prance up to the door and be like, yo, let me in? Unless they go to jail or something like that, right? They're like, let me in, and then they get smited, and then it's game over. They don't have to continue on. Instead, they rebel. We're citizens of Olympus. We're the gods' beloved playthings, kept in their eternal cradle. Ever since the day the gods built the city, we've been stuck living here forever. That's right. For over 10,000 years, we've been forced to live millions upon millions of versions of essentially the same day. They were living in the heat of the moment, never getting to set one foot outside the city limits, never getting to grow or change. For 10,000 years, we've been utterly stagnant. Alright, so that's even worse than Bedivere. I think Bedivere says, I've been at this for 1,000 or 2,000 years, but they're like, hold my beer. I've been here for 10,000 years. Wardrobe unlocked. Refurbished. Okay. Alright, so what we'll do here is we'll spend one friendship point summon. If we do get a something from there, we'll probably throw one Saint Cord at at Karin here. If we get Angamani, we'll throw one Saint Cord at Karin. Alright, here we go. Alright, nothing. Alright, cool. Alright, that was a pretty long stream right there. It was those nodes were really good. Actually, when I was reading Musashi's dialogue, I was kind of drifting a bit. But when I got to like Edison's dialogue, oh, that's when I was like, oh, I'm awake. Also, this is what gone down. So it was overall pretty good there. And we'll have to see what they do. Let me just grab all this before I forget. I know I'm gonna forget if I don't do this right now. Alright, so that brings us to the end of this. So, thank you all for coming out to the stream. I appreciate it. And hopefully, see you next time. Adios. Bye-bye.